Narrow bridge across the valley, winds whipping round as we take the final steps towards the destination that's before me. To a mythical temple, Hashtag's feeling sentimental. He's heard about it but not been here. Through his adventuring career, we see footprints enough to convince we must enter with caution. Do people visit here often? Not the footprints of giants. Stealthily we enter silence. We see footprints enough to convince. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Enter the church of the giants quietly in case danger is here. Caution advised, although we have no fear. After all we've fought before, we'll face whatever dares to come near. Enter the church of the giants quietly in case danger is here. Caution advised, although we have no fear. After all we've fought before, we'll face whatever dares to come near. We prepare to enter the eye of the All-Father, ready for an ambush, but truth be told we would rather avoid spilling blood here, you see. We fear that would be blasphemy. The adventure continues.
Okay. So it's about 40 foot across, 60 foot high, and you can just start seeing at the sort of end of your sight. You can see that to the left and right of you, there appears to be platforms a bit higher up. You can't actually see this on the tokens at the moment, but you, in theory, would be able to see this. If you move yourself forward about 20, 30 foot.
Go on, Crow.
Assuming that's what you want to do.
Yep.
Okay. You can now see those, Krill.
I can see that it opens up, but I can't see platforms.
No. But those to the left, to above you and below you, so to speak, those are platforms where there's a slightly different color of tile, so to speak, or flooring.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
They are ledges that are about 20 feet high. So you wouldn't necessarily be able to climb them. Sort of jump up them. As you get to this point, though,
what's the temperature like? By the way,
it's still chilly. It's all very cold, very much what you were experiencing outside. But now that you are inside, it's just taken a little bit of the edge off. That wind isn't quite whipping around you, which is giving you an extra few degrees. So you suspect that potentially if this gets warm and when you get into there, you might be able to take off your stuff.
Nice.
Has any of you got a passive perception of 14 or higher?
That's a great question, Nate. Yes. 15.
You got 15?
Yeah, same. 15.
Those of you that have got 14 or higher noticed as you are now, where you're currently stood. So you're stood about 80 foot into this corridor. You sort of start looking around, and when you were looking at the walls, you sort of like managed to gaze up, and you noticed that there appeared to be two large sort of holes in the ceiling, essentially about 40 foot across. They essentially span the entire corridor's width, and then they were about 20 foot deep. You seem to notice that within those holes there appears to be stones, as in
interesting,
not part of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
a separate stone or something. As you get about here, you also start hearing echoing off the walls the noise of grunts. Like the noise of clanging, banging, and sort of humanoid, just like grunts and weird sort of animalistic noises. Not animalistic, but you know what I'm saying. Primal noise. Primal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Krill at the front. Krill just sort of sees just a flickering of a flame right off about 200 foot away from you.
I can see a flickering flame, possibly 200 feet away.
Thank you.
Just reiterating that information.
Okay, are you continuing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me move my map.
Okay. I will. Yeah. So you can continue on further then.
Oh, it opens up a bit here, lads.
Yeah. You move forward 10, 20 feet as you start.
Do we
Oh,
want to check for traps?
There's some corridors.
I feel like we should be checking for traps.
Okay. Let me just give you a little bit more extra explanation of what you can see. Although these platforms are 20 foot high, this is a large enough platform that you can. It's a large enough area that you can see a little bit. So you can see not only are these platforms 20 foot high, you can see just beyond them. You can see there are stone columns, not necessarily pillars per se, but there are stone columns, a number of them, and then there's gaps in between them. So whilst you've got this ledge, it appears that there's even further beyond that you can't see at the moment. So you could, if you were to get up to that ledge, you might be able to get to other parts of this building, or this building. Okay.
How high is the ledge?
The ledge is 20 foot.
So it's not like it's just the first step on a giant staircase. It is a ledge.
Yeah, these two either side of you are clearly, they're not, like you said, they're not a step. They are something that, Quinch could fly up there fairly easily. You could probably climb it if you've got a rope as well, but obviously without anything to tie it up to at the other end. But it's not so high that it's completely prohibitive to the rest of you, but it's certainly not one step.
Harshnag, what might be up there?
I would think a place such as this might be somewhere, I don't know, defendable. Perhaps it is somewhere for giants to rain down arrows or stones to anyone who is trying to breach. I would not know. I have not been here, so that would be my best guess. Can you see Harshnag? Yeah.
Yeah, I can just see he's tailing us a little bit.
Yeah.
It's weird. He's see-through. Okay. You can sort of see like the thing sort of comes to him like there. He can sort of just sort of on his tiptoes. You can just sort of see above, he's there's no one there.
It's just hilarious, the idea of a giant having the tiptoe to see something.
I know.
Would you mind lifting me up?
No, of course, if this is what you wish. And he scoops you up. Where would you like to go? Would you like to go north or south?
Let's go north.
North. Okay, you can move your own token, can't you? Let's plonk you up there.
I'm gonna just sort of pop to the other side of the pillar and just see. Oh yeah, so it goes back on itself a little bit.
Yeah, so once you're up here, you can see there's these pillars, and then there is like a walkway between where you're stood and then some further space behind it. You're moving up towards that. Are you going up?
I've
up
gone
there?
north a little bit just to see. Obviously, I can see that on the other side of this pillar, I can see that there's a sort of parallel corridor to the one we've come down. Or it looks.
That's correct. Yeah. So as you go past these columns, you can see there's another like corridor. Yeah, another 20-foot corridor, which is about 40 foot high.
Okay.
To the left of you, essentially to the west, you can see that then goes and opens up. But where you are currently, to the east of you, you can just see more corridor. You can't see anything of great detail beyond that.
I'm going to peer into this room, this left room, very briefly.
Yeah.
I can see something just at the corner of my sort of range of vision.
Yeah.
What would that
Okay.
be?
So you enter this as you poke your head into this room. It's got a 60-foot square room. So and then it's about 40-foot high ceiling.
Okay.
It's featureless. There's pretty much nothing in here except for this one thing that you've suggested, which is a large iron lever. It's 12 feet off the ground. And give me a perception.
Yeah. 9.
9. Very shiny from where you can stand.
Okay.
You can't see anything beyond that. You can just see this sort of metal thing that is sticking out of the side.
Okay. Despite a bad perception check, Krill knows there's probably more to it, but more than he can personally ascertain. So he's going to come back to the group. Still up on the ledge.
Okay. And Harshnag you can stay up there.
Oh yeah, just for a moment while I talk to the group.
Lads, there's a couple of different ways to go from up here. There's a room with a large lever, obviously giant-sized. Do you reckon we should carry on down the path we were on, or have a look see around up here?
I perhaps think we should take the most direct route to start with, then to perhaps venture off if we've come across problems.
I don't wish to be contrary, but I disagree, Gregomel. I think that if there are people here who are going to pose danger to us, I think that taking the most direct route is going to put us in the most direct danger. Whereas if we go off the beaten path, we've got the potential to sneak around and catch people off guard.
Yes, but isn't it a holy place? This is not one for violence.
We don't intend violence, but if violence is brought onto us, then surely we've got to defend ourselves, and we're here in the best interests of this place. Anyone who is here to attack us, we would be doing holy work.
As you do that, you just suddenly feel a giant hand reach down and sort of like lay, I guess, 2 fingers on Dweezil's shoulder, like the pinky and the next one in, the ring finger. He sort of just lays it on there as a sort of a sign of respect, a sort of like just, basically acknowledging what you've said, an agreement.
Well, very well.
The ledge then?
The diversion.
He does sort of say in a low, husky voice, says, looking for where my place is, I possibly could squeeze through there, but I'm not sure it would be quite the squeeze.
To get through where, sorry?
To get through essentially get through the corridor. To go the way that you're suggesting to go, Harshnag would struggle.
Well, we're not going without Harshnag.
We need a giant to pull the lever anyway.
Dabov, do you have
hang
any
on.
of that,
I take that back. He is, the token's throwing me off. No, he would be able to fit through there. The token's too big for the thing, but he would be able to fit through there because this is built for giants. Why would a giant struggle to fit through a giant thing? Yeah,
well,
no,
if the fire giants are anything to go by, to let the slaves through, I imagine.
Okay, so are you going to try and go a different route?
Trying to pull this
We'll
lever.
go up the corridor going to the north then.
Yeah, that's follow Crow.
Yeah.
Okay. Harshnag will lift all of you up.
Dabov just puts his hand up and says, I got it, and just walks up the thing with his slippers of spider climbing.
Ah, nice.
Yep. Just like Batman when he climbed in that building, just without the rope.
Yeah. But he doesn't need that, so you're actually just straight out like this.
Yeah, just
But
straight horizontal.
he still does the hands as he's going up. Just
Yeah. Okay.
Quinch will fly just to get a bit of blood circulating through the wings. It's been a while.
So you'll do that. Harshnag essentially lifts you up. How are you getting up there, Greg? You want a hand up, or you brooming?
I'm taking Harshnag's big, gentle hands up there.
Oh,
He cut
Greg
the
likes
buns
being
on the
lifted
way
up
up.
by a big, strong man. It's fine.
He cups your geriatric body and moves you up to the top layer. He then sort of like struggles a little bit because it's a little bit higher than him, but he manages to get some purchase and gets himself up onto the ledge and lets you lead the way. Where do you want to go then? Do you want to go into that? Are you going back into that room to have a look?
This is where the lever was, guys. Follow me.
Go on then.
I was going to say,
I realised if you don't let go of the token, it doesn't show other people that you've moved. So I was sort of hovering at the end of the corridor, wondering why no one had moved.
Yeah, you have to move. Okay, so you move into that, and yeah, the rest of you see this exactly the same thing that that Krill did. This 60-foot square room, and this giant lever. All give me a perception check so that I can tick off the other part of it that Krill didn't see.
Natural.
No, not you, Krill. The others. Okay. No, just the others. Sorry.
While they're doing this, I'm jumping at the lever.
15.
12. Okie dokie. Anyone? Quinch is probably enough to see this.
Is
to be
it
fair.
22 from Greg?
22. Yeah, you can see as you're getting closer, Quinch and Greg and anyone else that we've got around those sort of figures. You can see that not only is this lever, quite, it's 12 foot high. It's quite large. It's also covered in ice. That if you wanted to switch this lever, you would have to clear the ice first. Although you suspect Harshnag sort of moves into the room, and he basically tells you that he reckons that with a bit of elbow grease, he could probably do it if you wanted to move it.
I've loosened it up for you, Harshnag. You can pull it.
Before we pull it, Dabov, you're a mechanically minded man. Any ideas what you think this lever might be?
Yeah, can I investigate the lever and just see if I can figure out?
Give me an investigation.
Is it one of Welbert's?
What, like a dildo in the wall?
The big switch.
I can add twice my proficiency bonus to history. History.
Did you say like a dildo in the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it dildo shaped? So yeah, I can do history checks related to magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices.
Yeah, go on then.
I mean, it's only adding twice my proficiency bonus, isn't it?
No, go on.
Oh, well, I rolled a 2,
Hello.
so that's not really worth doing.
No, you don't know.
Even with any bonuses.
You've no idea what this does.
Yeah, I just say to the group. I just kind of shrug.
Do we wish to be pressing random levers? Is that within our objective?
Yes, it's fun. It's pretty fun. You never want to you don't have that.
You hoping it's going to ring a bell?
You don't have that innate desire to pull levers. Is that just me?
I mean, if it's in this room on its like a very nondescript room, I imagine it either triggers a trap somewhere else, in which case we probably do want to trigger it so no one can trigger it while we're there, or it opens a door.
Or it's a light switch, which we could really benefit from. We could really benefit from a light switch.
Okay. Quinch
I can't see any
puts
bad
his
things that
hand
could
on
happen to us in this room. I think it's a trap that maybe activates in the main corridor as a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it'd be fucking weird to set off something in here.
Yeah, that kills the person that pulls the switch. That'd be weird.
It's a suicide booth.
Quinch puts his hand on the lever, and hopefully you'll allow me to do this within the rules.
Isn't it 12
I will
foot
first
high?
say it's 12 foot off the ground, so you're going to have to fly up there first if you want to.
Yeah. Puts his hand on there and uses his ability to set something. I can set a flammable object and set it on fire. Hopefully that is within the rules enough to simply melt the ice.
Awesome. Yeah. Go for it.
So Quinch does that, hopefully it gets a bit flamey and toasty, and the ice starts dripping off, and then Quinch.
Yeah, I would say you take about a minute. You can see when you. I know it's technically speaking, you're supposed to be setting fire to something, but I'll allow this for the rule of cool to suggest that you do this, and you start instantly. You see a little bit of like just a trickle of or a couple of drops of water, and you realise that you're clearly doing something. You carry on, and after about a minute, you see that the ice around it thaws and makes this. Makes this lever now, essentially free to be pulled. It should you decide to do so.
Okay, Quinch comes back to the ground. He just, as he's on the way back down, he just puts one of his fingers up to his mouth to just to taste the melted ice. And I assume I wouldn't expect that I would infer anything from it, but I assume I don't. Do I infer anything from that?
The only thing you infer is the last time you tasted water this pure was outside Nightstone.
Wow.
When it tasted like it came from the teat of Chalupa.
Fucking hell. Okay, so I look aghast to the group and just say, I've heard tales of mountain water, but this is like nothing I could ever have imagined, apart from one time when I drank from a moat. But
Gregomel, why don't you brew some coffee with this water?
Yes, okay. Seems like a good idea. I get my water bottle or skin, whatever it is, tip the water from this into it.
Okay. Are you making the coffee now, are you?
Yeah, why not? It's Greg here, just make coffee wherever, won't he? So yeah, go on, Ed, let's make some coffee. Would anybody like a cup?
I'll have a cup of coffee.
In all our time travelling together, Krill has never had coffee. Let's see just how bearable Krill is with caffeine.
Okay. Greg goes about making the coffee.
Yes.
Probably the finest coffee making skills you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it is. Go on. Yeah.
He's decided to go for an espresso brew for everyone. So rather than like a mug off, he gives everyone this little dainty cup, which he kind of passes round. He obviously only has the one cup, so he kind of pours it to the first person who drink it, takes it back, pours the second one.
Oh. I was hoping it was one cup to share amongst all of you. Okay, you taste this, and even Greg is. You can taste the purity in the water that has made this. I'm not going to go so far as to say this is the absolute best coffee you've ever had, but it's pretty damn fine. It's the best you've had in a while.
It's the finest water from the bosom of Chalupa's or whatever it was. I can't remember.
Okay. Anything else? Are you gonna try and pull this lever?
Yeah.
Do you want? Would you like Harshnag to pull the lever?
Yeah, Quinch.
So, describe the lever. What does it look like in terms of shape and?
Okay, it is pretty much. It's an iron. It's a large iron lever. It's sticking out of the wall, currently sort of facing up. It's an erect lever right now.
Okay.
You think that for you would have to get both of your hands around it. Like this is not you just pulling like some one-armed bandit sort of thing. This is gonna be quite a tough
Krill
task. You can
is gonna jump, grab both arms around it, and just
Pull my feet. Everyone grab and pull my feet.
Okay. Is anyone going to help him?
No.
Quinch is going to look at Harshnag, hoping that Harshnag will sort of push down from the top of it.
Harshnag will if you really want him to.
Quinch is trying to come over his cowardice, but
Krill's still buzzing off the caffeine.
Pull my feet.
Unless one of you does help him, I'm gonna just move this along. Krill, can you give me a strength athletics check
Wow.
What do you mean? Both? You want-
at disadvantage.
How does that work? Because I get advantage on push, pull, lift, or break.
I will say that we'll call it even.
Okay, so
This says that medium or smaller creatures have disadvantage on it because they don't have enough weight. But if you're telling me you've got advantage on pulling, which I would argue in the circumstances would be a little bit of an ask anyway, but we'll just even it out. So one flat roll
16 on the flat roll.
doesn't budge an inch. You feel emasculated by how little this moves.
Can I now jump up and pull his pants down?
You are Robert Downey Jr. in Age of Ultron trying to lift Thor's hammer.
Wow. Quinch comes along and the lever budges slightly. No.
You are not Captain America. Right. Yeah, it doesn't move. Harshnag again says, if you really want it pulled, I will pull it.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, I've loosened it up for you, Harshnag. Should be pretty easy for you now.
Is Harshnag going to pull the lever down with Krill still on it?
Yeah, why not? Good bat.
Fucking hell, even Harshnag's got a roll for it.
Yeah, mate.
If he doesn't,
This is stiff.
if he doesn't do it,
Imagine how bad it is for him.
Very stiff.
but loosened a bit.
Yeah.
That's a good start. He's almost certainly got to have done that, surely. Oh, yeah, easy. Yeah. 27. He rolls a 27 overall, and he just almost quite easily pulls this down. As it clinks into the bottom of the off position, so to speak, or the down position,
Oh, that's interesting. We're turning something off.
Well, I just meant up is usually on, down is usually off.
Not on my kettle, it's not.
We've just turned off the heating.
From the east of you, so essentially back out of the room, you suddenly hear the noise of stone scraping against stone. 6 seconds later, you hear a thud of stone against stone.
So it's
I think
reasonable
we need
to
go and investigate that, don't we?
I think that sounded like a boulder falling down into a corridor, but I'm no expert.
Should we run?
Okay. You head back out of the room?
Yeah, worth having a little look just to make sure that it's not caused any commotion. People
Okay,
coming.
so tell me where you're going. You're going back. You're going straight back down to the ledge.
I think we should carefully, if we can see. Yeah, well, fuck knows. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I followed Dab off back down to the ledge. Can we see anything?
Stop. Yeah, so you head back to the ledge. 2 things you notice. Firstly, you notice that there is no light now coming in from the entrance.
Uh-oh.
Those of you that notice those stone blocks can quite clearly identify that a large stone block lies sat in the middle of the corridor leading out. The second thing that you notice is that the grunting of the voices has stopped, and now stood very much in the middle of the corridor is a number of tribesmen, one of which holding actually 2 of which holding a torch, and they start shouting at you.
Oh, they've seen us.
Yeah, they've seen. Well, as that was happening, they've started coming back down the corridor. As the rest of you have come out, they've as their flame has lit up enough to be able to see you, and also they've seen Greg's torch as he's walking out.
It's magic feet.
And
Yeah, my feet.
What language do they shout out in?
they shout out. First of all, they shout out in some language you don't recognise. You don't even recognise it, let alone be able to speak it.
And although I can do a thing that I've never done, universal speech as an action. Oh no, no, it's different.
What was it?
I've got this universal speech, so as an action, I can make creatures understand me, regardless of the language. But that's not. It doesn't mean I can understand what they're saying.
Right. Okay.
Cast it on them.
So you, They at first they're shouting in just some like very guttural, angry language that you don't recognise, and then when you make sort of no reaction, one of them, a particularly broad-looking gentleman, shouts out to you, "Who are you? Why are you here? You are not going to take our treasure."
We are not here for treasure, sir. You, be assured of that. Whatever treasure you are guarding is of no consequence to us. We are here on giant matters.
You are here on giant matters. You have found yourself a giant problem.
All right.
Why have you shut the door? Why have you trapped us here?
Because we're not heating the whole street, are we? Were you born in a barn? We shut the door to stop the cold getting in, and we knew exactly what we were doing, and we fully intended to shut the door, and it definitely wasn't an accident.
Roll me a deception.
Does Dweezil nod in respect to the fact that all the lights are off, though? Like, their light etiquette's pretty good.
23 for deception.
Yeah, that's. I'm not even going to roll. He's not a bright bunny. There's no way he's doing 23.
What's your why have you got some kind of weird dragon thing, like a little white dragon? What's that all about, eh?
He is my pet, and I am looking forward to him feasting on your guts.
Right. Have you seen... Am I talking to the one who's at the front, standing next to the little white dragon?
No, you're talking to this fellow here with the red dot.
Oh, right. Who was not... Right, okay. I'd give him a little wave, and I go, obviously, you've been speaking to me. Have you noticed my friend who's standing just at the top of the ledge there?
Krill's there flexing.
I was actually, I was meaning Krill. Actually, I wasn't. I'm not. I wasn't dunking on you. And then I'm going to say to him, and my other friend, who's standing just slightly behind my big friend.
And then I step aside and sort of just point.
You have a giant. Well, we will kill him as well. Unless you have something to offer me, I am afraid I am bored of this. You will all die now.
I have got something to offer you. Go on.
Go on then.
Do you like poems?
Words? No.
You'll like this one.
It's a really good poem. It rhymes and everything.
Go on then.
Your intellect is paltry, your strength is feeble too, your odour is repugnant. I mock, sir, I mock you.
What an exceptional episode of Dice and Desire that was. I can't decide. My favourite part was when Quinch said the inappropriate thing. Dweezil scolded them all for being silly billies. or Greg just didn't know what was going on. Great stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening, and if you've enjoyed this, why don't you come and find us on social media, where you can interact with us on a daily basis and share some of your favourite parts. Or you can tell some friends and family, hopefully they listen, and that will help our visibility and even more people will find us. Or, finally, if you have any spare change that Krill doesn't know about, and you want to support us financially, no pressure, then why don't you head on over to Ko-fi and you can do just that. Right, I'm off. But, like Daboff, I will see you in a few days, whether you like it or not. Ciao!